Hello, crafty friends. Mary here today. Um, Instead of a card today, I'm going to make a couple of frames. I'm going to be using this die set, die by Elizabeth Craft. It's the Happy Frame. It's number 1499 by Scrapped. And it makes it, you have to cut it 4 times. So basically what it does is you cut it 4 times, and you cut it when you cut it 4 times, this one's already assembled. It makes the four sides of a frame the same size. So when you put it together, you're gonna end up with a frame that's a square, and the size of it, the frame that it makes is here we go, is an 8 by 8 square frame with miter corners. It goes together really easy. This one I did with red cardstock. So you could do this by just going with the standard die cut. So basically, if you cut 4 in the shape that the default dies cut, you'll get an 8 by 8 square. If you alter it slightly, basically if you die cut it and then change the size of your cut elements, in this case I trimmed down the 2 of them, you can alter the size of your frame. In this case, I kept my long ones, the original 8 inches long, and I cut 2 of them to be 3 inches so that I could have a tall rectangle frame. And this one I use so that I can frame a slim card like this. I did the same thing with this one, which I cut a little bit off the 8 side, off the 2 8, or I'm sorry, I cut off a little bit off all 4 of them so that I can end up with a 4 by 6 frame. And in this case, I use some cat stamps to create a little frame, a little scene on the inside. Now I can just have this standing on my desk, but you can make this be the front cover of a card, and you could still have it hinged if you want. But if you do that, either you would hand deliver it to somebody, or you would have to put it into a kind of a bubble envelope so that it doesn't get squashed. They're not fragile. I wouldn't call them fragile. They have some, I used cardstock. What brand? This is the cardstock that I used right here. Does it have a weight? I think this is some Hobby Lobby cardstock. Does it have a weight? Doesn't show any weight here. I don't see any weight on it. But it's a good size weight. I would say it's 80, maybe 100-pound cardstock, weighted cardstock. And when you so it's pretty solid. If you press hard, it's gonna squash, but it has no problem. It feels sturdy to me, so I think the frames are pretty sturdy. So like I said, so this one is a square that measures 8 by 8. This is a square that's 8 by 3, equivalent to a slim card. Obviously, this would not fit into a slim card envelope, like a regular size, what is it, size 10? Number 10 or number 9 envelope? I can't remember. It would be too thick. So let's put one together. I have one that I started, that I have all the pieces die cut, and on this one I cut it to be a standard A2 size card using a die cut piece of cardstock. And basically I just used the measurement of the card and I eyeballed it. So I will put this one, I kind of assembled 3 of them. I'm going to assemble the 4th one on camera for you guys. I am using score tape, the skinny score tape. Basically what you want to do is you want to, you have your little shape here. You want to do this little flap. You want to put it right here. It's like you could put it on the whole flap, but you don't really need to. As long as I try to do it as close to the seam as or not to the fold as possible. So kind of measure it and then put it up there and peel it, and then you kind of get it to and then I flatten it this way, flatten it this way, and that's it. And then you have your little tube, a little square tube. So now you have your 4 sides of your frame, and now we're going to put our frame together. So basically you're going to take your open joint and your closed joint, and you're going to start putting it together like that. And in this case, since we're not making a square, keep in mind that your your sides are going to be different. So I like to do this. I like to dry fit them before I put glue on the joints, because in some cases you're going to have to when I see they all fit except this one. This won't fit into here, so that means that I have to rotate something. So let's see. So I just have to rotate this. You see, because I had it like this first, it would fit everywhere except here. It wasn't fitting here. But if I just rotate this, now it fits. So now all my 4 sides are fitting. And you can use like a block, like some kind of block, or a square edge ruler to make sure your edges are square. But really, it comes together pretty good if you once you start gluing it together. I'm using just regular glue, tacky glue, clear tacky glue for the joints. I found that that's easier. I initially was going to use score tape, but I changed my mind and decided just to use regular glue. It seems to work out better. So basically what I do is I then just do one seam at a time. I put glue on the little flap that is open, the side, and then a little bit of the top here. That's what I do. And then I bring in like that. So you want to get a little bit on this top right here, this corner right here, and this. And you want to try to get that as tight as possible. So you just hold it down a little bit until the glue has a few seconds to grab on. And then you're going to do the same thing to the other side. You're going to put a little glue right here, a little glue on this side, and a little glue on this side. And you're going to take this one and you're going to bring it in there. And just hold it together. And I mean, the glue, the nice thing about the glue is that it gives you a little bit of time to work with it. So. Okay, and then the last one. Once again, you're going to put a little glue on the corners in here and in the side. And then you're going to do it on this side too. And the last one, you would think it's a little harder to put together because it's the last one, but it's not really any harder than the other ones. Just take your time, and you'll get it right. Now, I did use the paper I used is it's kind of a variegated. It has different tones, so that's why you'll see some shadows on it, and so the seams maybe a little bit more. May show up a little bit more than if you use maybe a solid color paper. So maybe the thing, when I used the red paper, I noticed that the red paper, some of the seams showed the core of the paper. The core of the paper was white, so maybe keep that in mind if you want to use a solid core paper, if you don't want to see that white part. I was looking on the website and I noticed that Elizabeth Craft has an extra large set of frames too. And those make bigger frames. Those are very cool too. That's it. So this looks pretty good. A nice thing about this, I thought it would be really cool. And I'm going to do it with this one to show you because is to do a shadow box, or not a shadow box, a shaker box, a shaker. So we're gonna do it is, let's see, let's grab the same. So this would be our front. This would be our front, so we're going to, I'm going to put adhesive right on the very front. Okay. And now we're gonna, I'm gonna reach behind me to get a piece of acetate. And we're gonna, I want a nice piece of acetate, so I'm going to reach in my pile of dies and get a basic stitch frame. What do you call it? Basic stitch frame rectangle. And cut out a piece of acetate, and I'll have a link on the blog to this rectangle, to this dish rectangle that I'm using. This is an old one, and very old. I mean, it's one of the very first square frames I bought. So it's, oh my goodness, I think it's going on, I don't know, 20 years maybe? Because I know that we bought it when we moved into this house. I got it pretty soon after we moved into this house, and so yeah, it's going on 17, 18 years, and it's only just recently started giving me a little bit of problems cutting on one corner of the die. So maybe I have to run it through, you know, cut it a couple times with some tin foil or something. I know that there's something you could do to okay, I picked up a little bit of the cardstock there. Let's see if I can make it work. Okay, so what I am doing is I am putting the acetate on the front of my shaker, which is the front of my project, right? And that's why I wanted a nice piece. See if I can line it up. Oh. Nope. Yep. Totally did not line that up. But fortunately, that's the problem with score tape. Once it's down, it's down. Okay. Score bone folder. Things just disappear from my desk. Oh, there it is. A nice thing about I think for the most part, the tape disappears, and the variegated cardstock adds to it. Okay, so now I have my shaker. So next is some good stuff for my shaker card, right? So let's get some gemstones and stuff. But I want to do, what is the inside of my shaker going to do? What am I going to put on the inside of my shaker? I'm going to put some gemstones, and you got a good amount of a good width, so you could really fill this shaker, and that's why I like I can use these celestial sequences, because these are chunky. These have some, I don't know if you can see, but they have dimension. Excuse my nails. My nail polish is needs to be replaced. So, and they have little stars. Let's see if you can see them. They're cute. I love this one. So, what else do we want to add to our little shaker? Stars. Let's do some silver stars. Some silver stars. A little more silver stars. And some white stars. Some little white stars. That's good. And we'll put more, and I've got a few more white stars. Okay, so now that the shaker part is done, we can do the next part. So we are going to put adhesive on the next part of the card, on the back of the card. Not as concerned with making the adhesive disappear so much on the back, because I'm going to make it cover the whole back. So I'll get rid of those. Come on. There we go. I'm keeping this one top on there so that we can do something in a minute. So I'm going to just cut. I'm putting acetate on the back and just cut it manually because there we go. And then from here too. Okay, so now, see, this is what the card looks like. See, and you have a sky. So it's not pretty. So you could put a ribbon on it over here and hang it up. And I thought that would be really cute. Kind of make a sun catcher. And if you didn't want the stars to stick to your acetate, you could put a little powder on it, or you could put an embossing anti-cling. You could dust it so that it wouldn't stick to it, but I actually like that it sticks to it. So I hardly ever use this because I want some of them to stick up there so that they stay nice and neat. And furthermore, if you want a nice little, I could do a little trim here. I would use maybe silver to trim the front of it, and also on the back. I would trim the back too. I left this open, or the adhesive, so that if I want to, I can slip in a backing sheet. I think I left it open now because I want to insert something in there. I may insert a surprise that I'll show you later on the blog. So until later, take care. Bye.